Hey, what's up guys? Now that you've had a little fun creating your logo and you have a starting point for your designs, let's take a look at your brand's overall style guide. A style guide is the colors, fonts, graphic elements, logo types, and image treatments that make up all the visual components of a brand. By setting these standards, you will always have a guide for you and your designers to work from to maintain a brand's look, feel, and consistency. Let's start by selecting your brand colors. You should have already defined at least one of your brand colors when designing your logo. So let's continue to build off of that. When choosing the colors of your brand, you want to create a palette of colors that are complementary and work well together. The main colors should consist of 5 to 8 swatches that range from light to dark, so they can be effectively used together in any situation. To begin, you will want to choose 3 to 4 main colors that will be used as your main primary colors. These primary colors will be used as backgrounds on your website to separate content rows, graphic elements, print advertisements, and really represent the overall look of your brand. Next, you will choose 2 to 3 colors that will be used in text applications. These colors should be in contrast to your primary colors. For example, if you have a dark primary color that may be used as a background on your website, then you will want to choose a lighter color for the text application so that it appears legible when overlaid on top of the darker background. And vice versa, if you have a light primary background color, for instance, you will apply a dark text color over the lighter background color. Lastly, you will want to choose 1 to 2 attention colors. These are high contrast, bold colors that will be used for buttons, links, headlines, and any other elements that you want to call attention to. Be cautious when choosing attention colors. You want them to be bold and stand out amongst the rest of your color palette, but not too distracting or conflicting with the other colors in your style guide. I recommend using Adobe Color Palette Generator to search and explore thousands of color palettes based on how you want your brand to be visually represented. So now that we've discussed colors, next up we want to choose the typography for your style guide. This will be 2 to 3 fonts that will be used for everything related to your brand, your website, your print advertisement, your banner ads, your social media graphics, literally everything. Remember, you are trying to create brand recognition and consistency, so choose your typography carefully and don't stray away from your style guide. Just like when designing your logo in the previous module, you'll want to decide on your logo font type. However, I recommend only choosing between serif and sans serif fonts. Script and display fonts will be too stylistic for text in both print and digital applications. I recommend using Google Fonts to search for your typography. They have a great visual platform where you can search for fonts based on various styles and properties. Google Fonts can also be used in both print and web applications. This will allow you to use the same recognizable brand-specific fonts throughout all of your print and digital applications. When selecting fonts, you want to keep it to a maximum of 2 to 3 font types. Too many fonts on the web page or print design can get distracting to the viewer. Choose one font type for your main headings that are typically more bold and blocky, and then 1 or 2 subheading fonts for your paragraph text. When selecting paragraph text, be sure to choose a font that is easy to read and stay away from fonts that are all capital letters. Be aware that many font types have several varying widths, so even with only a couple font types, you can still get very creative with your designs. As I mentioned before, don't get too stylistic and be careful of using script fonts. They may seem fun but are difficult to read and can cheapen the look of your brand if they are overdone. You should also establish some guidelines when using graphics like icons in your designs. Including icons and infographics is a great way to add a visual representation to text. For example, adding an icon above a main heading or text block will increase the likelihood of a visitor understanding the point you're trying to make, as well as increase the click rates. There are thousands of types of icons to choose from, so be sure you are choosing the appropriate type that supports your style guide and remains on brand. You can browse through and purchase pre-designed icon packs as well as stock photos from graphic resources like Shutterstock and iStock. So there you have it, guys. Creating a style guide will not only allow you to perfect your brand design, but also serve as a guide moving forward to make sure you stay consistent and build a brand that becomes visually recognizable. Be sure to download and complete the action plan below, as well as any additional tutorials, resources, and templates for this module, where you will complete the creation of your brand style guide. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I am here to help.